Hello and welcome to another Sporty's Product Pirate video. Here we are in the panoramic tower at Claremont County Airport. We've got airplanes taking off and landing behind us. And we figured this was the perfect place to talk about a new entrant to the flight sim hardware options. And that is the long-awaited Honeycomb Charlie rudder pedals. The Honeycomb Charlie pedals build on the aesthetic and also the durability we've come to recognize with the Honeycomb Alpha and the Honeycomb Bravo. You'll notice the layout, the curves, the opaqueness of a lot of the plastic is very similar to their other models. You can't look past the Honeycomb style grille on the front and really complements the previous models, the Alpha and the Bravo. The most noticeable and important thing in my thought for the Charlie pedals is the full metal alloy pedals. So these are very durable. You're going to feel the robustness or the density of them as you're using them. They each have individual toe brakes. So let's say in the simulator you're having trouble turning off the taxiway or getting off the runway and you need to apply a little bit of brake to make that turn harder. You can do that individually. It also has counter swaying yaw. So when you push on the left or push on the right, the other sways back. Customization wise, we have the ability to change the angle of the pedals with an Allen wrench on either side. Takes about a minute or two. Right now we're at about 45 degrees. We can go flat, we can go straight up, whatever is preferential for you. And then on the very back of the Honeycomb Charlie, there's a tension wheel that we can adjust, and that'll change how much force is required to push these pedals. Now I may have taken a screw or two off to really make sure that it's working and changing the tension. And I can affirm that there is a moving tension portion in there that will either be closer to the resting point or further away, which in essence makes it harder or lighter to push. So if you want to simulate flying a Piper Cub or 172 on light tension, or take it up into one of the larger aircraft, you can do that with a higher tension. The Honeycomb Charlie, as you can see, is large in a wide aspect rather than a tall aspect compared to some other rudder pedal manufacturers. I like that because it gives it a very low center of gravity. So typical pedals sometimes will slide around if you're dancing on them too much or pushing too much. Think of a strong crosswind approach. But because the Charlie pedals are low and wide, it really reduces the chance of them being pushed around. They weigh 26 pounds. So with that low CG and a lot of weight pushing into the ground, they're going to make sure that they stay where you want them and not throwing curveballs at you while you're trying to precisely step on those pedals. Another thing about the Charlie pedals that makes sure that they are going to stay stable is on the underside of the pedals. So underneath, we have plastic grips here, 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 and here. There's also a lining that makes sure when you are on a smooth surface, it's not going to move on you. It's sticking to said surface. But what if you're using the simulator on, say, carpet floor? Well, there's 4 little pads that right now are flat and flush. You use a screwdriver to undo that pad, you flip it, and then reapply it. And on the back side of this pad are teeth. So between the 4 pads that will then have teeth once you flip them, that makes sure this isn't going to jump around for you when you're using it on carpet. On the back side of the pedals, here we have our tension knob. As mentioned, we can tighten or loosen the amount of force needed to move these pedals. We also have our USB-C port. Each Honeycomb Charlie ships with a USB-C to USB-A cable. So that's that very common port you find on PCs. You'll instantly be able to plug this right into your computer. And then it also has an LED button here. So you're able to change the illumination or intensity of the light on the front of the pedals, or even just turn it off with this button right here. The Honeycomb Charlie pedals are a great option for anyone who's interested in upgrading their at-home flight sim setup, or you're interested in improving and closing out the Alpha, Bravo, and now Charlie option from Honeycomb. All these pieces work well together, they work succinctly, and they make sure they bring a high level of performance all around. So I really like using these pedals along with the Alpha and Bravo. It just seems to close out the feel of having the 3 pieces all working well. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.